Hurricane Florence slowly approaching the Carolina coast tonight as winds, rain, and storm surge batter the coastline. Plus, a former state house candidate on the Sun Coast sanctioned for lying about a college degree. What consequences she now faces. And people who live in a Sarasota neighborhood can rest easy tonight. A mass burglar behind bars. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening. Our top story tonight, hurricane force winds pounding the coast of North Carolina right now. You're looking live at I-95 at the North Carolina-South Carolina border. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Now, Bob, that storm has slowed down, but that's not always the best news. When can people expect it to make landfall?
Yeah, here's the thing. It's kind of strange, Jack. And what we have now is a storm moving to the northwest, expected to move to the west during the overnight and morning hours, and then maybe even to the southwest. The advisory has just come in, and it's now down to a Category 1 hurricane, but that really doesn't matter much. The wind around it is not the big deal right now. What the big deal is the storm surge and heavy rain. The fact that it's moving so slow now at around 5 to 10 miles an hour off to the northwest, and even that's debatable. You can see the center and the outer wall now starting to hit parts of the outer banks of North Carolina, but we're still getting deep convection developing on the southwest side. The eastern side of the storm has been eroded away a little bit. There's a secondary eye, if you will, or a secondary band of heavy storms developing outside the initial center, meaning the storm is expanding once again in size. The winds are at 90, the wind gusts up to 120 miles an hour, and it's moving to the northwest now at 6 miles an hour. That northwesterly wind will get it close to the coast to making landfall, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and then it will then start to bend more toward the west and then southwest throughout the day on Friday. Estimating time of landfall is sometime around noon or shortly after noon tomorrow. So it's going to be sticking around. Here's again the winds expected to decrease a little bit tomorrow morning, just simply because of the upwelling of the heavy waves here causing the ocean underneath it to cool down a little bit. And then it's going to move on this southwesterly course and then off to the northwest. Now the winds will subside to near hurricane force strength tomorrow night, but as I mentioned, the winds aren't the big deal. It's the onshore flow causing all sorts of the problems, and then it heads off to the northeast. Get a look at this radar imagery showing the storm center not moving much at all over the past hour or so, just drifting really to the northwest. Still 60 miles to the south and east of the center of the storm right now. Here are some storm reports. This area in particular has already had a 10-foot storm surge as onshore flow continues there. Again, that's near Cherry Branch in North Carolina, and that was at 9:37. As far as the storm is concerned, you can see the center right there spinning, and we're starting to see these deep areas of convection developing on the north end, and it's really starting to wind up with more outer bands developing, and all those continue to wrap right on into North Carolina. They've already had up to 8 inches of rain estimates already, and the rain is not over for at least another 24 hours to possibly 48 hours there as it heads off slowly to the west and southwest on Friday. We'll have more on Florence and also take a look at Isaac coming up in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, Bob, thank you. We'll check back in with you soon. Well, we have more details tonight about the people in the Carolinas in just a few minutes, but first, our other top story tonight. New consequences for Melissa Howard, the candidate for the District 73 State House seat, who lied about having a college degree. She will enter into a deferred prosecution agreement tomorrow with the state attorney's office. ABC7's Rick Adams has more on what that means.
Well, in the end, Melissa Howard will avoid getting a misdemeanor charge for lying about having a degree, but she still has some work to do. The state attorney's office says that Melissa Howard is expected to admit guilt and enter into a deferred prosecution agreement Friday morning. The Lakewood Ranch resident had lied about having a degree from Miami University of Ohio while running for the District 73 State House seat this year.
A deferred prosecution agreement is available for first-time offenders. Ms. Howard has no prior criminal history, which makes her eligible for this program.
Howard will be put on a period of supervision where she will be required to perform 25 hours of public service and pay certain costs, as well as remain crime-free and not violate the law. If she doesn't abide by all those stipulations, then she would face a first-degree misdemeanor for misrepresentation of academic standing at a post-secondary educational institution. A Manatee County Sheriff's Office investigation had concluded that Howard did intend to defraud by her actions.
We agree with their findings, and that's why we're moving forward with our charges. We're moving forward with our case, and that's why she's being offered this agreement.
And Melissa Howard ended up dropping out of that race. We did call and text her, but never heard back from her. Howard is expected to appear at the Manatee County Probation offices Friday morning at 9:30, and we will have crews on the scene for that. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Some breaking news out of New York right now. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo wins his primary against actress and activist Cynthia Nixon. We are going live to that Democratic primary where Cynthia Nixon just gave her concession speech. Now, winning the gubernatorial nomination for the third time, Cuomo will go on to compete against Republican Mark Molinaro and Syracuse Mayor Stephanie Minor, a Democrat running as an independent in that November general election. Well, people who live in a Sarasota neighborhood can rest easy tonight. A man now in jail connected to more than a dozen burglaries over nearly a 2-week period last month. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies say Adam Lehman is responsible for stealing from 16 homes in the South Winds Mobile Home Park on Tamiami Trail in Sarasota. Items stolen include a television, boat motor, several fishing rods, power tools, and a handgun. The sheriff's office says Lehman was captured while walking down Clark Road with some of those stolen items. Residents say he was staying at a home that his mom owns in that park and was targeting homes of snowbirds who are not here at the time. According to investigators, Lehman admitted to committing all 16 burglaries. He is now facing 17 felony burglary charges.
You're always concerned, no matter what it is, and even though a majority of them are in the back of the park, it doesn't mean that they can't come to the front of the park. So you got to just be careful and make sure you got everything locked up.
One evening there was a phone call to the sheriff's office, and they were here within 6 or 7 minutes, and there were almost 7 officers responding. So just outstanding work.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office believes there may be more victims. We're being told Lehman has a long history of criminal activity. Authorities are continuing on with their investigation. Investigators hope a larger Crime Stoppers reward will help lead them to a killer in a recent murder. 20-year-old Tyron Kennard was shot multiple times and found dead near the Charlotte and Sarasota County line in Northport. A $3,000 reward now being offered to any information leading to an arrest. You can call 1-800-780-TIPS if you have any information, and you can remain anonymous. Now to new details tonight in the case of a Florida toddler found dead. We're now learning that the day before 2-year-old Jordan Bellevue went missing, a case manager warned his biological parents that he could once again be taken from them. The case manager delivered that warning on August 31st during a visit with the toddler's mother, 21-year-old Cherise Stinson. The next day, the boy disappeared. A few days later, his body was found. Stinson has been charged with first-degree murder. Investigators say she confessed to hitting Jordan in the head during a moment of frustration. Jordan had previously spent more than a year in foster care. Earlier this year, the boy's court-appointed child advocate told a judge that he should not be returned to his mother, but her objection was overruled. A Nebraska couple whose little boy was killed by an alligator at a Disney World hotel have welcomed a new child to their family. Matt and Melissa Graves announcing the birth of Christian Lane Graves. In 2016, an alligator grabbed 2-year-old Lane as he was playing along the Seven Seas Lagoon Beach outside of Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. The child's father jumped into the water to try and free his son, whose body was found 16 hours later. The Graves said in a statement that Lane is watching over his sister and his new baby brother as a guardian angel. A string of fires and explosions is causing problems for several Massachusetts communities tonight. This video taken in Lawrence, where you can see at least one building burning. Nearly 24 fires were reported in at least 3 towns nearby. That situation is so bad, the entire community in those 3 areas have been ordered to evacuate, and the electricity has been shut off.
To date, we have approximately 12 to 14 houses that were directly impacted by the events. Because we have not yet been able to identify a clear geographic area that have been affected in North Andover, we have communicated with all of our residents that if they have gas service, they should evacuate from their home.
As for what is causing those fires and explosions, authorities are investigating a possible spike in gas pressure. At least 6 people have been hospitalized. 2 are in critical condition. And first alert traffic tonight, Sarasota police investigating an accident involving 3 cars. They closed off the northbound lane on US 301 near the intersection of 10th Street at around 9:30 tonight. Sarasota police say there were no major injuries and the scene has been cleared now. The Florida Department of Transportation discussing another major project on I-75 tonight as well. This one will rebuild the entire State Road 70 interchange. Currently, it looks like this partial cloverleaf design, but come October 8th, crews will be turning that interchange into this modified diamond design. The project will also include new on and off ramps and emergency stopping sites. Staff say this is all in an effort to accommodate the traffic flow.
So where we left off at the University Parkway project, we'll be widening the lanes to accommodate an auxiliary lane both in the northbound and southbound direction, and improvements to the Braden River Bridge, as well as new overpasses at State Road 70 interchange.
FDOT says that project will cost a little more than $80 million. Construction is expected to last for the next 2.5 or 3 years. State transportation officials also considering installing speed tables at St. Armand Circle, and it could happen by the end of this year. The Observer reporting that it would be a temporary installation at first to see how they affect traffic. The goal is to stop drivers from speeding when entering and leaving the traffic circles. Manatee County's Regional Traffic Management Center wants to change the way you plan your commute using real-time cameras. You can now access the more than 200 cameras on your computer or smartphone using a program called Smart Traffic. The cameras stretch all of Manatee and Sarasota counties from Parrish to Northport. For a video tutorial on how to use Smart Traffic, you can head over to our website, mysuncoast.com. Well, stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast and the latest on Hurricane Florence. Plus, we have continuing coverage of Hurricane Florence. It has not made landfall yet, but people are already seeing severe flooding. And the emergency response teams from the Suncoast that are on standby as those conditions worsen.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Kettle's got it. Kettle's got it. Kettle's got what you're looking for at Kettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Kettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Kettle's got that too. Kettle's got it. Visit Kettle.com.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Well, Bob, I know earlier you were talking about while it's not a Category 4 storm like it was a few days ago, it is now a Category 1 that can still cause some severe damage in terms of other options.
It's not the wind, and it always has been the case, really. The wind is not the big deal with this storm. I know I wrote an article on Monday saying this could be a Harvey-like storm, right. And Harvey wasn't a big windstorm up near Houston. It was down south in Padre Island, and it hit South Texas. But yeah, this is a massive storm in terms of rainfall and storm surge. The wind, not the biggest deal, and it looks like it won't be the biggest deal with this storm. It will be the surge and the heavy rainfall. I want to show you these two buoys that are out there near the center of the storm. At one point we had hurricane force sustained winds right there near Cape Lookout with wind gusts up to 97 miles an hour. And then look at that buoy just offshore of Wilmington reporting a gust of 112 miles an hour. And this was at 7:30. You can see as we move through time, those winds stay fairly consistent and strong right in through the 11 o'clock hour. Wind gusts just recently at 89 miles an hour at Cape Lookout. Now the biggest storm surge problem is already occurring in some areas north and east of the center. You're having that onshore flow. Here on the backside, it's all offshore near Wilmington, so they're not getting any problems with storm surge yet. But there are some reliable forecast models. We're talking about the FSU Ensemble model as well as the European model that don't take Florence into North Carolina. It actually drops it to the southwest on Friday morning, staying out over the water, which is the worst case scenario because it's going to continue to grab that energy and just develop storm after storm after storm and wrap around the center and deposit it right on into North Carolina. But the European model suggests that it may stay out over water throughout the days tomorrow and then eventually move on into South Carolina. And a couple of other models agree with that. So we'll get to our weather quickly here. Had some big storms inland. Those are still starting to wind on down over Lake Okeechobee. There are a few to the northeast of Tampa right now. Moving to the southwest, we'll keep a slight chance for an isolated storm in the mix overnight, but not a lot. We'll go back to Florence, obviously. You can see the outer wall there developing as well. These are these bands that continue to develop. This is where the hurricane force winds are, and they are now down below Category 2 status. But as we said, it doesn't really matter as far as the wind goes. It's how these waves of heavy ocean water continues to pile right on in to the outer banks of North Carolina. As I mentioned earlier in the newscast, already a 10-foot storm surge reported. The center itself is about 40 miles due to the southeast there of North Topsail Beach, and it's moving to the northwest. You would expect it to make landfall, but it's not expected to do that. It's expected to drop off to the west and then to the southwest throughout the day on Friday, making landfall possibly afternoon, and then we're going to see it possibly even stay out in the water longer if it follows the European model. Already 7 inches estimated over the last 6 hours, really, and more rain on the way as the European forecast model suggests. Anywhere in that yellow area, you're talking 10 to 20 inches, more than likely 30 inches, and then power outages continue to be a problem all throughout that region. And as far as the storm surge map, it has ended as far as north of the northern tip of North Carolina. No worries there, but anywhere from, as you see right there near Morehead City southward, we're expecting up to an 11-foot storm surge. And power outages will continue throughout the day tomorrow and throughout the day on Saturday as that wind shield of tropical storm force winds continues to move in that direction. Now, as far as, let's get to Florence real quick here. Not Florence, but Isaac, and show you what's going on with it. It's not a very big storm. In fact, it's just barely hanging on to tropical storm status. It is moving off to the west. More than likely, it will be sheared apart to an open wave, but if it hangs on together in the northwest part of the Caribbean, there's a chance it could redevelop and re-strengthen and get into the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll keep an eye on it for you right now. Not a big concern, but it bears watching. Our forecast is calling for a little drier air to move in tomorrow and stay around through Saturday and Sunday. For boaters, winds out of the north turning to the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be running 1 to 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and in the waters. The extended forecast and slight chance for a shower or two in the morning near the coast on Friday and Saturday. A better chance for scattered storms to come back in the afternoon and evening beginning Monday through Thursday of next week. And we'll keep an eye on that storm system possibly down to our south in the Caribbean. Jacqueline?
Is already flooding parts of North Carolina, and it is expected to get even worse. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez reports from Wilmington, North Carolina.
The ferocity of Florence evident even before landfall. Waves pounding this pier, water breaking through dunes, inundating homes, and surging down coastal streets. The beginning of what is expected to be catastrophic flooding for parts of the Carolinas, with this monstrous storm stretching 500 miles across, expected to dump as much as 40 inches of rain and pummel some areas with 13-foot storm surges.
Somewhat of a gloomy feeling knowing that the coast of North Carolina is going to be changed forever.
More than 1.5 million people in the hurricane's path under evacuation orders.
If you're on the beach, the time to go is now.
Some waiting until the last second to pack up and head out.
It's a little scary thinking, we may lose some stuff.
Finding some shelters already at capacity. Others ignoring the warnings and riding out the storm.
It's going to be windy, yes, but I don't know, I'm just not scared.
And at this point, authorities here are telling anyone who decided to stay behind to just shelter in place because these conditions are not letting up and are only expected to intensify through the night. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Well, as agencies all around the country prepare to help those being impacted by Hurricane Florence, another one of our local fire departments is ready as well. While Sarasota County has already sent some teams to assist with preparations for the massive storm, the Venice Fire Department is preparing to be called on if needed. The department has a team on standby to head to the Carolinas. The team consists of 3 people in a Venice fire engine. This same team has gone to help other neighboring communities in the past who have been hit with catastrophic damage.
That's part of what we do in the fire service and also I know public safety as a whole. We are always working through the state and our local agencies to make sure that we're always there to assist everybody else, and we'll receive the service if it ever comes our way.
Once government officials and law enforcement say it's safe for them to come, they will be deployed. Now, this hurricane is serving as a reminder to all of us here on the Suncoast to be prepared for what may head our way. We have some valuable information on our free ABC7 apps as well as our printable 2018 Hurricane Guide. Just head over to mysuncoast.com. In other news tonight, Sarasota County health officials issuing no swim advisories for 2 area beaches. The Venice Pier Beach and North Jetty Beach have potentially harmful levels of bacteria in the water. Health officials will do another round of testing tomorrow. The beaches are still open, but swimming and other water activities are not recommended. And looking to clean up the Sarasota Bay, police took one of their training days to remove 2 derelict boats from the water. The Sarasota Police Department releasing this video on Twitter today. You can see officers diving down to remove the rotting vessels, which can pose a risk to other boaters, and then taking them to the 10th Street boat ramp to be destroyed. It is illegal to abandon a neglected boat this way, and civil and criminal charges are pending for the owners of these 2 vessels. Well, sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Is Kimmel new tonight?
I don't know.
It sure is. With Kate Blanchett, Ben Mendelsohn.
That is an excellent idea.
And the Chainsmokers. Plus, Jimmy learns from kids.
That's good stuff, right?
Emmy-nominated Kimmel. New tonight on ABC.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Our nurse, Jennifer, all we did is pick up the phone if I was having a bad day, and the next thing we know, she was here at the door. I can't believe that I would have received any greater care anywhere. From that moment on, everything changed dramatically. And I don't know what we would have done without that.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
The body, it is a work of art and a powerful ally in the fight against cancer. A new approach called immunotherapy works by helping our immune system correctly identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to learn more. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Saturdays at midnight on ABC7.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now, sports.
Miami Dolphins wide receiver Kenny Stills says he's committed to activism forever. That means he plans to continue to be among the handful of NFL players participating in protests during the national anthem. Stills met with some veterans this week to explain his position. He says they understood where he's coming from. Ottawa Senators defenseman Erik Karlsson will be joining the San Jose Sharks after today. In return, San Jose is sending the Senators a first-round pick in 2019 or 2020. The Sharks also get forward Francis Perrone. Ottawa gets a second-round pick in 2021 that becomes a first if the Sharks make the Stanley Cup final and re-sign Karlsson. Well, if you want to take part in this year's Skyway 10K, you'll want to sign up soon. The Tampa Bay Times reporting 7,500 entries were sold within the first 20 minutes of registration today, nearly selling out the event in record time. Now, we checked just moments ago, and only VIP passes are still available at $300 a pop. The run across the Skyway Bridge will take place on March 3rd, and 100% of those proceeds will go to the Armed Forces Families Foundation. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Attention. On January 1st, 2018, the United States Tax Cut Act officially became law. This law also changes Obamacare. If you are uninsured or struggling to afford your current health insurance, there is now immediate relief. Health insurance that's not high-priced Obamacare is now available. Call the Health Insurance Helpline now. It's free. The cost for health insurance has been a serious problem in America, but now the law has changed. So many people don't get the insurance they need because they just don't call. Don't spend money you don't have to spend. Call now. It's free. If you are uninsured or unable to pay for ACA coverage, call the Health Insurance Helpline now. Get what you deserve. Call to see if you qualify for health care or dental coverage that starts immediately. Don't delay. Call now. It's free. Call 800-307-8167. 800-307-8167. Call 800-307-8167 now.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Check out this dog named Morty. He's with the Disaster Response Canine Unit, and he has been sent out to Wilmington, North Carolina to help out with any water rescues there. So we thank him for all of his help.
That's
and
right.
Hopefully he's not needed, but if he is, he's a good resource.
Right, absolutely. And, you know, a lot of people are ready to go and hunkered down. They're riding out this big storm. Our thoughts and prayers are with them right now, especially in North Carolina. Get a look at Isaac. I didn't get a chance to show you. This is a European forecast model showing a closed low making its way through the Caribbean over the weekend. If it gets through there and stays as a closed low, then there's a chance the conditions become a little bit better conducive for development there just to the south of Cuba, and then it would head into the Gulf of Mexico sometime midweek next week. It could be a tropical wave, could be a tropical depression. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Right now, it's not a big deal for us. There is a look at the latest on it. 40-mile-an-hour winds expected to be a tropical depression tomorrow, and the forecast calls for it to move anywhere in that southeast Gulf of Mexico by midweek next week.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. And thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tomorrow evening. Have a good one.